Hello everyone, and welcome back to some more Shining Song Starnova with me, Phantom Zwei. When we last left off, Starnova entered the Grand Prix, but somehow, whether by a mix-up or by some back room, I guess, arrangements, they're going to end up on the main stage. Though the Starnova group is determined to turn what is pretty clearly something designed to make them look like a bunch of amateurs up on the main stage. They're going to try to turn that around and make it a good chance to bust out into the mainstream. But let's see what happens, shall we? After getting set up on backstage, I peered out to gauge the size of the audience. A vast ocean of faces stretched out from the stage, filling the plaza and stretching out so far that the people in the back rows looked no larger than grains of wheat. There was no doubt about it. This would be the largest audience we'd ever performed before. But I knew this would be an uphill battle. Unlike any of our prior lives, most of the people there probably didn't even know who we were. Despite our recent successes, I had to face the fact that we were still virtually unknown in the greater idol world. Everyone, no matter what happens, don't lose hope. I returned to where the girls were waiting for their cue. It's an unbelievable crowd, maybe larger than all of our previous lives put together. The girls once again interlocked their arms into a star and leaned into the center.
やっと私たちの番だね。今中二ちゃんがステージダイブしたら、そのだらしない格好は明日の東京中の新聞に載ることでしょう。その言葉よく覚えておきなさい、赤の小悪魔。闇の配下にあるこの私は間もなくスターノバの真のセンターと化するのだ。
She's gained some confidence, hasn't she?
やっはー、いいかー。すべてはこの瞬間にかける。
いいか、やるぞ、みんな。ノバ!
They stamped their feet. The prior group finished with their routine. I watched on as the girls ran onto the stage, their backs disappearing into the shining twilight. Everyone, no matter what happens, don't lose hope, even though I just thought that. For a moment, the girls stared in awed wonder at the massive sea of humanity before them. Before they could catch their breath, the instrumentals to their song began, and the girls instinctively began singing. Producer-san was right. This really is bigger than all of our past lives put together. But we can't be daunted by the size of the venue. Here it is, our comeback! Meanwhile, Kamijo and the girls of Quasar watched the performance from their monitor. Looks like they're doing pretty alright. No, look. Haruka pointed to the audience. Despite the Starnova girls delivering a solid routine, barely any of the audience members seemed to be paying attention to the performance at all. Instead, most of them were looking at their cell phones or speaking amongst themselves. Anxiety began to grip the girls' hearts as they gradually realized that nobody was paying attention to them. That seems like a waste to be at a venue. Like, even if they... I mean, you're at a venue for idols, and even if it's a group you don't know, you're there. I mean, so why would you not listen to the performance? Unless you just didn't like it. Like, if you thought it was trash, I get it, but... The audience is... You can barely hear our song over the crowd. Why is everyone talking over our performance? Why is nobody watching? Ugh. Could this mean I'm gonna fail?
あんな薄汚い不良品どもが本当のアイドルになれるはずがない。歌とダンスだけじゃアイドルなんてなれやしない。この業界はそんなに甘くないのだ。アイドルは理想の存在。一人の女の子ではなく、一つの象徴なのだ。美しく純潔であると同時に、己の才能に無知でなければならない。人はあんな汚れた女どもをアイドルとして認めるはずがない。
人間になり得ない存在ですもん。
その通り、生きる人間は、
やっぱりあなただったんですね、上条さん。
当然だ。これを教訓にしろ。ゴールデンカープに歯向かう者は無事でいられると思わないことだ。クエーサーは自分の言うことを聞かない子供に情けなんてかけない。これは戦争だ。 戦争となれば勝つために手段はいとわない。どのみちこれはあなたにとってもいい機会でしょう。ステージで本当のアイドルというものを教えなさい。
はい。
まあこんなもんですよ。結局ライバルだし、新人だからって手加減する必要もないっしょ。でも彼女たちは本来このステージに来ることはなかったんですよ。なんか違うような。私たちは一番のはずなのに、なんか今いじめっ子の集団みたいになってますね。カオリッチ、この世は弱肉強食なんだよ。
She's a rather demented 12-year-old.
フェアプレイだけでは一番にはなれないよ。そうかな。私たちも名誉を守らないといけないでしょ。今は勝者でもいつの間にか負けて忘れられるかもしれないよ。私たちはここまで来られたのは上条様の多大な犠牲のおかげだよ。一瞬たりとも油断してはならないの。戦いはね、どんなに些細なものでも全力で戦わなければいけないよ。私たちの地位を脅かす存在はいてはいけないの。もっと
Oops. Tears began to line Mika's eyes as she kept singing to the unreceptive crowd. It's like they don't even think we exist. It's just like... Mika-chan. The girls exchanged worried looks when Mika's voice cracked, breaking their unison. Oh no, Mika! Their dance formation quickly began to desynchronize as Mika began to lag behind, her mind obviously elsewhere. Uh-oh. Now we're really in trouble. Because even if the crowd was unreceptive, if they'd performed well, it would have been like, well, you know, I mean... But if they're tripping up at the end, I was gonna badly. However, even that seemed moot, as no one in the audience seemed to be paying attention to their mistakes. What's happening? Where did all our fans go? Our voices aren't reaching anyone. As soon as the girls saw Mika tear up, anxiety welled in their hearts too. Disappointment and humiliation stuffed their throats, making them lose the words to their song. The cheerful and inspirational lyrics now felt like an enormous betrayal to their emotions. This is shit! Maybe we should just stop and leave. It's not like anyone would even care. So it was all pointless after all. Natan, don't feel so energetic no more. Nemu Nemu. Yes! You clearly you've conveyed your emotions, Nemu. No, we can't fall here. Everyone! The girls looked up to see a group of fans amidst the sea of disinterested attendees unfurl a banner. The girls looked amongst themselves. Our fans, they're still here for us! Regardless of whether we perform at a back alley stand or the Tokyo Dome, we're going to give our all. By the time this is done, 10,000 people are going to be looking at me. I can't hold the others back here. I'm not going to be a human failure ever again. What was I thinking? Everyone, let's go! Aren't they in the middle of their song? I don't really think it's a good idea to just scream that, but okay. The girls shook off their doubts and sang even louder than before. If nobody's going to hear us, then that means we're just going to sing louder and louder. I looked out into the audience as the girls recovered and began to sing like never before. Small clusters of the spectators suddenly began to shut off their cells and start paying attention. They began to wonder just who these unknown idols were and started opening their programs to find out what was going on. I pumped my arm. Right, the girls are doing it!
まだやる気みたいよ。
当たり前よ。元とはいえ、一度がクエイさんの一員だったの。さて、なかなかの競争相手ができたみたいね。みんな、準備に入るわよ。
上条様、安心してください。私たちの登場で、あのクズどもの存在なんて観客の記憶からきれいさっぱり消してみせます。
However, however, Kamijo merely adjusted his glasses, not a trace of apprehension on his face.
子供が自分で歩けた時のようだな。 なかなか興味深
A confident grin split Kamijo's face.
い。異常に興味深い。よかろう。クエーサーとスターノバがこのステージで決着をつけるのも悪くない。
Oh, no dialogue here. Yet, dying star's death throes are no match for the light at the center of the galaxy.
クエーサー
The 21 participating members of Quasar lined up into 3 lines.
誰よりも強く眩しく銀河の中心に輝く光星々は私たちの周りを公転するクエーサ
The girls entered the final stretch of their song. By now, large pockets of the audience were swaying with their glow sticks along with the melody. The girls grinned amongst themselves as a sea of multicolored lights waved over them.
これから始まるのさ。
The crowd chanted along with the girls as the song entered the instrumentals.
お兄ちゃんたち大好き私たち精一杯歌いますね漆黒の旋律に染められよ
Cheers erupted throughout the plaza as the lyrics resumed. Caught up in the festival atmosphere, I began to chant along with the audience backstage. Even though I must have looked like an idiot, mentally, I felt as if I was dancing along with the girls on the stage. My heart was in my throat, and it felt as if my lungs were burning. My muscles felt weak. Was this what the girls were feeling? Finally, the song came to an end. The audience applauded as the girls bowed. Meanwhile, I could hear our Woda squad hollering their support clear from backstage. However, we hardly had time to celebrate. Suddenly, all the lights on the stage turned off. Electronic music began to pulsate from the speakers, so powerful it made my insides reverberate with each beat. The girls ran off stage on cue.
Are you ready?
Upon hearing Shiro's voice, the crowd went insane, as if possessed by a sudden frenzy. The lights turned back on, revealing over 20 members of Quasar now lined up on the stage. All 10,000 men and women in the plaza jumped into the air all at once. Their roar of approval, combined with the opening of Quasar's song, hit me in the with the force of a bomb. The girls returned to me backstage. Good work, everyone. However, their attention was enraptured by the members of Quasar.
これがクエスサーなのか中心
The girls looked on in awe as the 20-plus girls all danced in perfect unity, as if they all formed one body. While they had struggled for the past months trying to sync up just 7 moving bodies, the girls of Quasar weaved and whirled amongst each other with complete ease. Only a fellow idol could imagine the hundreds of thousands of hours of practice which must have been needed to coordinate such an enormous dance formation.
嘘
No way!
3列目の子たちのダンスも完璧やんかあの子たちはヘタピアから後ろに配属されたんやろ
いや、ダンスのポジションはスキルとは関係ない。人気投票で決められるんだ。正式メンバーとして残るための競争はあまりにも厳しくて、一番下の子でもダンスと歌は全国レベルの天才だという。
そうやっぱり人間ちゃうわ神やわおい観客を見て
The entire sea of humanity was chanting and beating their glow sticks in perfect sync with the Quasar girls as well, as if the audience had come under a spell.
私たち反対だわくそ
However, the girls couldn't look down in defeat. Indeed, their eyes were wide open, focused on the stunning members of Quasar. That's when I knew it. Had the girls of Starnova not participated in the Grand Prix, they would have all been in the audience as well, cheering along with everyone else for Quasar. All the stars revolved around them, huh? I realized their motto was meant to be taken literally. We all stood wordlessly, both awed and terrified by Quasar's power. We drove home in the company van after the conclusion of Quasar's performance.
いや
As expected, it was a complete massacre. It wasn't even a competition. Now that I've seen their live for myself, I feel stupid for even thinking we could stand a chance in the first place.
さようですか
They were just on a completely different level, eh?
うん
It was like encountering the final boss as a level 1 character in an RPG. Aki was pouting in the corner, obviously all bent up about being beaten so completely. She swallowed her irritation and tried to rationalize our defeat.
まったく
It's only to be expected. Quasar's the #1 ranked idol group in the country, after all. But we still put on a pretty good show, all things considered. To share the same stage as them, and to still come out in one piece. I guess I can be satisfied with this outcome. Everyone, despite what happened with Quasar, I'm proud of you all. Today, you did your agency good. Even though we won't win the Grand Prix this time, there's still next year, and the year after that. If we don't give up, we can one day top even Quasar. It was fun participating. There were so many people in the audience, eh? You think we'll ever be able to draw that many people to a live by ourselves?
諦めないぞ
Of course we will. We'll have to draw 5 times as many people to fill the Tokyo Dome. Tokyo Dome, eh? Mariah spoke from the front passenger seat. Sorry, everyone. That golden calf producer's probably targeting us because of me. He and I have some history back when I used to be a part of Quasar.
まあまあ
No, that's not any of Mariah's fault. Besides, both Aki-chan and I are both ex-Golden Calf talents too, anyways. So he probably would have targeted us anyways. But it sure was weird how our stages suddenly got changed.
もう
I think it actually worked out in our favor since we managed to perform in front of a much bigger audience because of it. So, thanks Quasar producer-san. You actually ended up doing us a favor. Sure seems that way.
なあなあ
Anyways, when will we find out about the results of the straw poll? Isn't that the most important thing right now? Yeah, the results are announced on the final day of the festival, so we'll know in 3 days.
え
Lame. So we're gonna be in suspense for so long? There's still 2 more days of performances left. Just because we're finished doesn't mean all the other groups have had a chance to perform yet.
ワクワクしますね
I can't wait to find out how we did. Maybe we might even be in the top 10. Nope, no way that's even possible. It sure would be amazing if it were, eh? With that, I drove the girls home after our big day. Alright, August 13th. 3 days later, we sat gathered around my computer at the office, waiting for the results of the straw poll. The tension's sure high here. Does anyone want some snacks? Something from the vending machine? Instead, the girls were focused intently on my screen.
なあなあ
Producer-san, isn't it time you refresh the page again? Boy, what if the website crashes because we waste so much bandwidth?
ふざけんなよ
As if something like that would happen.
ちょっと考えがあるんだけど
Check the Chan instead. I'm sure they'll post up the results quicker than the official site anyways.
みんな
No way. Everyone. It almost feels like we're college applicants waiting for the results of the entry exams.
おい
Oi. Is it alright we're here at our office? What if we win? Then we wouldn't we have to rush back to the festival to perform for the closing ceremony? Mariah delivered a chop to the top of Aki's head.
落ち着け
Calm your twin tails down, you shit loli.
お前
Besides,
何も分かってないじゃん
that's not how any of this works. Obviously, the management of the winning team would be the first to be informed about the results so they can perform in time. Just then, the website refreshed by itself. Ah, the results are up. Everyone stopped talking all at once and leaned into the screen. The competitors were listing in order of their popularity in a new post. I scrolled down the list, looking for our name.
これは
Where are we? Where are we? Are we even listed? As expected, Quasar's the winner again this year. Oi, I don't see our name anywhere.
あら
Ah, there it is. 7 heads, mine included, hovered inches from the screen as Nemu pointed to our position on the straw poll.
う
Rank 38, out of 104. Everyone let out a sigh of relief.
悪くないぜ
Ah, I guess that's a pretty good showing for our first appearance. We're safely in the top half, just like we were hoping for. Yeah, pretty much the result I was hoping for.
んなるほどですね
It's incredible we were even ranked that high. I'm sure we beat dozens of other idol groups who have been in existence for far longer than us.
やった
Quick, P-kun, you gotta post about this on our blog. Let's hit all of our chirpers, too.
わ
986 votes in our favor, eh?
それは
How many votes did Quasar get? I scrolled back up the list. Over 15,000. So this is the harsh reality, eh? Well, it's obvious we're not Quasar, but it's still a rock-solid beginning. Alright, next year let's aim for the top 10.
ナンバーワンが値なんだから。
Top 10, you say, but I won't be satisfied until I'm number 1.
お疲れ様です。
Let's work hard together so we can once again stand on the same stage as Quasar, this time as proper rivals. I wonder if that's how the game will kind of climax, like another year of this, and then, you know, the Grand Prix with Quasar. I don't know. The routes probably differ quite a bit, if I had to guess, but I don't know. We'll find out. Kamijo stood before the full membership of Quasar, alongside an enormous projection of the straw poll's results.
ご覧なさい。
The 11th annual Idol Grand Prix has come to a close, and I am moderately pleased to inform you all of Quasar has once again been crowned the winner of the straw poll, making 2017 our 7th consecutive year of holding the title of the #1 idol group in this nation. However, now is when the decay of complacency will fester away at our resolve. This year also marks the largest ever decrease in the number of votes we received in our favor. Kamijo clicked a button, bringing up the previous year's results on the monitor. In 2016, we received over 24,000 votes in our favor, while the runner-up barely managed to surpass 10,000.
若者。
Yes, explain to me why this year we received only 15,378 votes, with barely 2,000 votes over Platinum class. If this trend is not overturned, then 2018 could very well mark the year we lose our title. For 7 years, your senpai worked tirelessly to make Quasar the unquestioned leader of entertainment. Are your resolves so weak that you will undo the work of the legends who came before you? No, sir. Even as we speak, virtually every idol group in the nation is picking apart recordings of our lives, devising new ways to defeat us. If we are to avoid an unacceptable outcome in the next year's straw poll, we must work we must work as never before. The weak will be eliminated. The strong must become stronger. Sir! With that said, Rank 19, 22, and 23 will be retired from Quasar. Rank 13 has been demoted to Rank 19. The rest of you shall move up your numbers to replace the cut members. The girls whispered amongst themselves at the unexpected shakeup. Had those girls broken the rules? Performed below expectations at the Grand Prix? Or were they just being made examples of to motivate the others into working harder? No doubt the rumors will now spread like wildfire.
そのと。
Redouble your efforts, for as long as you deliver results, Golden Calf Productions will provide. Alright, Captain Kaido Shields. I mean Kamijo. I spoke on the telephone as the girls stared with anticipation. Yes. Yes. Of course. Thank you very much. I hung up and took a deep breath. Just one moment, I'm gonna take a drink. Alright. Then I squeezed my eyes shut and raised my arms into the air. Yes! The girls assaulted me all at once.
おいプロデューサー
Boy, what was the call all about?
なんだと？
Did we get a new job?
ゆっべ。
Did some corporation offer you a new set of fresh-faced teenagers to replace us? Are we all getting retired? Oh, Mariah, you're hilarious. If it wasn't Mika's route that I kind of want to do in this playthrough, I think Mariah would be the second pick for me. I like her. Everyone, thanks to our performance at the Grand Prix, I finally managed to find a recording label willing to print our CDs. What's more, it's Soma Music. Soma Music! Amazing!
ついに約束
At last, our fortunes have turned around.
素敵です。
We did it! We won, didn't we? Looks like we're finally in the big leagues now. Mariah stood up and cut her arms in front of her, interrupting the girls' celebration.
いいか
Wait. Oi, this is a huge corporation we're talking about here. They're obviously not going to take us in out of the goodness of our hearts. So, what do they want out of us? Don't worry. In fact, that's part of the good news too. They'll be printing the CDs for our newest song, and they'll even shoot a PV in Enoshima for us.
やったー。
It's a PV! A PV!
プロデューサー、
What's the theme? Are we going to be filming at the beach?
プロデューサーさん。
When will the shoot be? Will we have to do pervy poses again?
おい、
Oi, isn't the most important question who the center of the PV is going to be?
落ち着け。
Stop! Slow down!
おい、プロデュ
Oi,
ーサー。
producer.
ちゃんとやれよ。
This is a lot to take in all at once. Explain things more clearly. Well, I don't know the details myself, but we'll be taking a trip to Enoshima at the end of the month to shoot a PV at the beach. The shoot will be summer-themed, so it'll involve you girls wearing swimsuits, as well as regular dance intervals to be shot later at a studio. The PV will be released alongside the CDs, and Soma will also offer a special edition DVD, which contains various versions of the song that will, with different centers. Okay, so they're not concluding one single center yet. They're doing different centers with different editions of the DVD. Okay, the 1080p version of the PV, making a documentary, as well as tickets to our next Handshake event.
なるほどですね。
I see. All of this sounds to be expected of a record label. Certainly nothing appears fishy.
まあまあ。
Soma Music's a huge corporation which prints CDs for thousands of musicians, so at least we know they're not some shady company. Ah, you really are the Lamb of Starnova, aren't you? Now that we've attracted the attention of a multi-billion corporation, did I say billion? Multi-billion yen corporation, this is the point where everything's going to change. Now we're gonna go corporate and start caring only about the bottom line. Listen, you guys, we're nothing but commercial assets in the eyes of these companies. However, nobody else seemed to heed Mariah's warnings of doom and gloom.
いや
A seasonal beach PV, huh? I wonder which swimsuit I'm gonna wear. I heard Enoshima is really beautiful during the summer. I can't wait to visit. This is gonna be huge! Do you think our PV will appear in the television screen in front of Akiba Station?
ふむ。
Perhaps, if this really will be a big deal, I can do some more pervy shoots. For the sake of Starnova, of course. Mika, are you secretly into that? Swimsuits are Nimunu's specialty.
おい。
Oi, the center, producer-san. The center.
終わった。
Nobody's listening. Alright, then how about this? I'll decide the center before we shoot the PVs. So this PV will mark not only this PV will not only mark our first cooperation with Soma Music, but also the debut of Starnova's new center. All ears in the room perked up at my words. For a moment, silence descended upon the office, until Aki finally spoke.
お前な。
Ah, if that's your decision then,
わ
I guess I can leave it to you.
はい。
It just cannot be helped. Eh? I couldn't help but be surprised at the mild response. Oi, weren't you guys going crazy about being the center just a few weeks ago? Why so low-key about it now?
あ、そう。
Ah, we decided to accept the outcome, no matter what ends up happening.
一緒に頑張りましょう。
Regardless of who the center is, Starnova still depends upon all of us. I see. However, the unfortunate reality is that only one of the girls could occupy the center position in our dance formation. Regardless of who I chose, the other 6 girls were going to have their hopes dashed. Thankfully, our unit was still small enough that the other girls could still get their moment in the spotlight. However, the reality was that both the media and corporate sponsors inevitably focused their attention on the center. Then I'm grateful for all the faith you placed in me. I'll think long and hard to pick a center who will lead Starnova to our next great victory. Okay, so we are approaching the center, the choice of the center. I assume we're actually going to be able to choose that. If we're not, I'm going to be actually annoyed because there's been so much lead up to it. And, you know, it's a visual novel. Choice is part of the appeal of it. But anyway, should we do one more scene? It's 28 minutes. Yeah, let's do one more scene. A few weeks later, we arrived at Enoshima to shoot the footage for our DVD. Natan burst forward and pointed to the ocean in a dramatic fashion.
全力で。
Oh, it's the sea! Natan stretched her arms out and let the ocean breeze ruffle her hair. Eh? As expected, the beach really is pretty.
うわ
Come on, let's change into our swimsuits and play. Should we build a sandcastle? Oh, how about some beach volleyball?
おい。
Oi, we're not here to fool around, you bumpkin. This is serious business, you know? Not to mention, it's a little hard to relax with all the cameras. Cut! The director of the documentary motioned for the cameraman to stop shooting. Indeed, despite being at the beach, a squadron of staff members and film crews surrounded us as they documented every moment of our trip. My apologies, Suzuki-san. Oi, Mika, you can't say things like that while we're shooting.
うおー
I'm sorry, producer-san. Remember, the point of the documentary is to show you girls acting in your natural environment. Try to pretend that you're on a fun trip to the beach. Ignore the cameras and act normally.
うー
Understood. Action. Natan once again burst into frame and pointed to the ocean in the same manner as before.
全力で
Oh, it's the sea!
うおー
As expected, the beach really is pretty. Yes, this is totally natural. The recording proceeded again. Meanwhile, the girl sighed once the shoot ended.
それは
Making a documentary sure involves a lot more work than expected, eh? Seriously. And I thought whenever I saw idols having fun at the beach, all that was actually real.
キモい
There's no way anyone could be having fun like this, with all those cameras and guys and the staff leering at you like that.
お前
Oi,
何も分かってない
that's just to be expected.
決まってるじゃない
Like I said, we're in the big leagues now. This isn't about laughing innocently with a big ha 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 without a clue in the world anymore. Dark clouds suddenly began to gather over Mariah as she spoke. This is just the beginning. The next thing you know, they'll be asking you to do nudes at the beach, or install hidden cameras in our bedrooms, or even spy on you using drones. And if you complain, they'll just make you into the villain somehow and toss you away without a second thought. I don't think Producer Sam would do something like that.
お前な
Oi, you're putting way too much faith in that guy. He's just a cog in the machine after all. It's not like he has any clout in what Soma does with us. He might as well have sold us to the wolves at this rate. Worry began to creep into the girls' faces.
本当に
But you suppose things like that could really happen?
ねむねむ
I have heard rumors of big entertainment corporations using such tactics. Yes.
悔しい
You're talking about that again?
あそう
This is just the way the industry is. Anyways, we can't sweat the minor stuff like that if we want to become idols. But what if they really ask us to do nudes? That'd be...
ま
Ma, things have been going well for a change. I'm sure things will turn out alright again. I returned to the girls after speaking with the other staff members. Hey everyone, they're ready to start shooting again. The girls stood from their chairs and got ready for another take. I watched the footage as the cameraman recorded the girls running along the beach. The weather suddenly turned dour. It'll be alright. Do not worry, Producer-san. Soma music can turn night into day if necessary. We'll simply delete the clouds and change the color of the sky in post-production. Nobody will ever know it was cloudy today. I see. Then please take care of it. After the take, I instructed the girls on the details of the next scene. So the next couple of scenes are going to be appeal shots. Basically, each DVD will contain a bonus scene involving one of you guys simulating a beach date with the viewer. Of course, that means seven different DVDs will be made, each bearing a different appeal scene.
そうかい
I see. So people will be able to buy a DVD to see the appeal scene of their favorite girl, or splurge and buy all 7 variations of the same DVD if they want to see all of them. Yeah, that's the idea.
どういうことだ
So what exactly are we doing for the appeal scenes? The scriptwriters apparently prepared a scenario for each of you. Of course, most of it will involve saying romantic lines to the viewer, and some bikini gravure. The girls whispered amongst themselves. Bikini gravure? Could this be what Mariah was referring to earlier?
どうだろう
It doesn't sound too bad. At least nothing more pervy than what we've already done before.
どうよ
How bad could it be? Aki-chan, don't say that. And so with that, we began shooting the appeal scenes. She's asking for it. The cameraman stood inches from Natan's face as he recorded the first-person footage using a handheld camera.
うわ
Oh, you're finally here! Natan approached the camera and leaned in.
え
You ain't looking so well. Is something the matter?
元気
Cheer up! Weren't you the one always cheering me on whenever I was running on the track team in junior high? Really?
ま
You haven't been as energetic anymore ever since we graduated.
任せとき
But don't worry. Now Natan will be the one to support you. The cameraman outstretched his hand for her to take.
平気平気
Just for today, Natan has a special service for you. Natan will. Natan burst out laughing as soon as she took the cameraman's hand. Oh, Natan's pretty good. Cut.
わい
Wait, Nathan, what's the matter?
悪い。
Sorry, but I just can't roleplay the scenario with Oji-san here. His forearms are so hairy. I facepalmed and apologized to the cameraman. Luckily, he seemed to be amused by Natan's commentary and laughed along with her. He's a good sport. Certainly, Fuji-san's forearms do not conjure up the correct image of a young man.
なあ、ピーくん。
Hey, Beacon, I think I'd feel a lot better about the scene if I took your arm instead. Indeed, Producer-san would be best fit for this scene, eh? Would such a thing be possible? Fuji-san, can you report from Producer-san's point of view? Fuji-san gave a thumbs up and motioned for me to walk up to him. He held the camera in front of me using a rod and recorded the scene back from the top. We reached the spot where Natan had to take my hand.
平気平気。
Just for today, Natan has a special service for you. Natan will. She smiled gently as she took my hand. Well, what exactly was she supposed to do with my hand again? She took my hand and rested it on her cheek.
困ったな。
Be the one to fill the hole in your heart.
これからはなったんだけを見てや。
Oh man. They're laying it on thick with these quote-unquote appeal scenes. An incredibly wistful expression appeared on Natan's face. I had no idea she was even capable of making faces like that. After what felt like an eternity of Natan longingly staring at me with my hand against her cheek, Suzuki finally called it a wrap. Cut! Natan let me go and returned right back to her regular persona.
いや
That was a little embarrassing, eh? Good thing it was Pikun, or else my whole body would have turned red. I had no idea whether to take that as a compliment or be shut down. Anyways, all of that was just roleplay. What was I thinking, getting flustered all on the job? Anyways, I still had other appeal scenes to shoot. Better get to work. Oh. So we're doing appeal scenes for all the girls. This is unexpected. Well, I mean, this seems like the perfect point to cut off the episode as well, because I don't know if we're... Actually, I guess yeah, it looks like we're probably doing all of them, because Natan's is grayed out here, so... I don't know if it'll make a difference in the order we play them. Just in case, we're going to do Mika's next, and then I'll probably just go in order of, you know, the girls that I like at this point. No idea if it makes a difference or not, but I think that's what we'll do. So, yeah, we'll continue there next time. As always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys then.